LCI. It was born right after the fall of the Berlin Wall, and I lived that enthusiasm of the new generation. I remember my mother crying, saying, "This is unbelievable."
The literature was destroyed. The immovable property were taken away completely. We had nothing, completely nothing. No seminary, no residence, no churches, no rectories. So we started from zero. Little by little, some churches were returned because the village transferred, 1991 mainly, transferred to the Greek Catholic faith again. And otherwise, in most cases, we started to build churches. The first big project was to get back the episcopal residence, which served as a state university library. Maybe half the residence is successfully being almost renewed.
In 1 year, it was all made. In 1 year. Last year, they just got here. The library just freed this place.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and this door is the secret door to the bishop shop.
Oh, that's so cool.
Since I came as project manager, there was consecrated maybe 120 churches. And altogether there is constructed 158 new churches. And still there should be constructed around 40 new churches besides that. And there was constructed 25 new parish houses, and we still need 160.
Is not only study about what is God, what about God. It's also help you to understand what is your life, what should you do after your life, this is study or rest of your life. So I really want to be a part of the orchestra. This is really my life, and because when I played the violin, actually I found a great, like the best way I communicate with God, with Lord, like through the music. Really, I think the music is very unique. And sometimes the people say, well, it's just classical music, Beethoven, Brahms is nothing special, they're very old, they're not fashion anymore, you know. But I say, no. Actually, through their music, like we had like great composer like Mozart, Haydn, and Bach. Even they wrote a lot of church music, like mass, like for masses. When I listen to the mass, oh, thank you guys, thank you very much, because I found like a great connection between the music and God, you know, God Himself. And I said, I really want to be a professional musician.
So since my high school studies, first I was interested in art, and I'm still interested. I also do some art, but more I'm interested in philosophy and theology. So I'm not pretty sure, but I know that when it comes to the profession I would like to do, it's to teach probably at the university, and then also try to do some translations of certain church fathers.
I would like to, at some point, to come back to Russia to do maybe some missionary work, and definitely do marriage consulting, and maybe pro-life. But, you know, it's God. I cannot really predict. I just stopped Last year I just stopped making plans and I just go whatever God calls me to.
Ale ja nie chcę czytać.
No, teraz zaczniesz. Akorze zaczniesz, dobra? Zacznij.
Ale.
Wyczyta i szkołę. Tak to...
I think if we want to be a healthy Catholic family, it's very difficult to put our children so early into such difficult situation and such struggles which they have to overcome. Homeschooling thing, I heard about it first time when I was in Gaming. I always liked the idea of being educated at home, but it was never possible here in Slovakia. And I thought it would be fun to do it, but still had so little experience with it, I couldn't really move with this knowledge. But when I went to America, there I saw.
And the end is in the house. His house is in the garden. It's under a tree.
Výborne, aj to už preložiť?
Hej.
Dobre.
A toto N je čo? Jaj? Priezvisko.
Ten bravček, and.
Aha.
Since I am out of Slovakia, I have to do things on my own and handle things as I can. So, but maybe on the basis of my experience, later on I will be able to do something about it in Slovakia, because I think it's going to be needed. And more people like the idea of homeschooling.
LCI definitely changed my life. I don't think I cannot imagine my life without that year. I think I would still be somewhere in Russia working in the bank, just ordinary life, and probably be baptized, but who knows what would happen. But yeah.
At that graduation we received a thick candle and with the inscription, "You are the light of the world." And that's in a way summarizes the beautifully mission of the LCI, to bring the light of Christ to this world. Language is important, it's a tool, but it's not just about language. It's precisely means to be able to speak the mysteries of Christ.
I climbed a mountain and I wrote my name in a book. I wandered every which way in the night time. I heard Mozart where Mozart first played, and I started a revolution.
Well, I so often hear, this changed my life. More recently, I've heard from some of the young students from Hungary, Augustin and Peter. Well, when I came to LCI, I thought I already was Catholic, but I realized being here that I only had an understanding that was for other people, and this is what we're supposed to believe. And now I really have experienced the love of God, and I want to share that with everyone I meet. Timur from Turkmenistan is now a translator at a major energy company in Turkmenistan because of the English language, because of his fluency. Another graduate last year, he went into a job interview in Slovakia, and the interviewer, without having told him ahead of time, began the interview in English. And our student, Lukasz, responded in English, and the interviewer was surprised and he said, "Oh, well, your English is better than mine." Of course, he got the job. So the English language part is important, and that's something that I hear often. Marko from Croatia, he was a very successful student on his path to being a lawyer, and he is a diplomat and a lawyer today. He said he learned here to put God first in his life, and that now affects everything he does. Maya from Bosnia-Herzegovina said, "I wish all of my classmates at home could learn what I've learned here. I have to go back and tell them. They don't know." Marinella from Albania, the same thing. She came back from Christmas break and she said, "All of my friends at home think I'm crazy. I want to go to Mass every day. I didn't realize how much I'd changed. I'm a new person. I'm going to make sure my sister learns this love of God, and I want as many people as possible to know this love of God. So those are the most exciting, that experience of the love of God, and that converts them.
You were the first one, you were the last one, you were the only one I wanted to find. I waited for you, I looked everywhere, you were the only one I wanted to find.